Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Rue, and today we are going to talk about some things you can do during this COVID-19 pandemic. As actors, we are a little bit in limbo, but just being in limbo does not mean that we have to be stagnant. There's plenty of things we can do, and today I want to share 5, maybe 6, who knows, there might be a bonus one at the end. I haven't decided yet. We'll just kind of shoot from the hip and see how it goes. How's that? All right, let's get into it. Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Rue, and on this channel, I basically give you my opinion about the industry. I have 7 years of experience, which is not a whole lot. I do understand that completely. Some of you veterans are like, 7 years? He's a baby. And yes, I am a baby. But I'm a baby that's been through the trenches. I can tell you that. These 7 years have been a roller coaster. Honestly, I would love to share some of these experiences with you guys, and that's why I made this channel. My wife is in and out the whole time, and that's what I'm waiting on.
Action!
One day she'll be on screen. You'll see her. She's a trip. If you do like acting, if you like learning about acting and how to move forward, how to get an agent, all the good stuff, all the questions that we all have, there's a lot of information out there, and sometimes the hardest thing is not the industry itself, it's how to discern what's right and what's wrong. My hope is to clear some of those things up for you so you don't have to step into any kind of pitfalls that a lot of people do, and it makes me so sad. It makes me so sad to see people make mistakes that they don't need to be making. So if you do like this kind of information, please consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel. It means a lot to me. Yes, it helps me, and I hope that it adds benefit to your life and to your career as well. Cool, so let's get into it. Tip number 1. This is gonna be an obvious one, but it needs to be said. Train. Train. Practice. I can't say that as fast as I say train. I went off track. Just because productions have shut down, just because you're not getting as many auditions, if any, some of us haven't seen an audition in so long. Keep checking your emails. One might come through and you don't want to miss it. Just because we're not on set as much, we're not auditioning that much, just because in-person classes are on hold for the most part, that doesn't mean that you cannot train. Example, practice some monologues. Go through a monologue book. Go through some famous monologue. It's not necessarily the number one recommended thing to do, but flex your muscle a little bit. Flex those acting muscles. Do a monologue that you admire. Do the most difficult one that you can find. Here's a tip. Make it your own. Don't try to be the actor that is famous for it. Make it your own. Record it and then analyze it yourself. Or send the file to your acting coach, to your acting teacher or your coach or your studio, wherever you train, and ask them to review it. That's a great way for you to keep your muscle, your acting muscle going. Do some monologues, record yourself. If you have a self-studio recording setup, that'll be great. If you want more information on something like that, I'll link a video to it. Look for it. But yeah, just train and practice, okay? That is the main thing you need to be doing right now, because when things open back up, and they will, you want to come out a better actor. How cool would it be? We all feel like we disappeared for a little bit, and some of us are going to come out rusty, and some of us are going to come out like new actors because we trained and we practiced. There's a lot of other things you can do for training as well, like I've seen multiple things on Facebook, for example, where agents and casting directors are doing these challenges with scene work and monologues and that sort of thing, and they are offering to review those for you. And also, guess what? That gives you a chance to get in front of them without auditioning, to get in front of these people so that they can remember you and you can really make an impact. A lot of times we get these one-liners and 5 and unders. A 5 and under is basically an audition we have less than 5 lines. So it's a very short kind of, you're just there to move the scene along kind of thing. You're not supposed to shine. You're not supposed to steal the show. Okay, a one-liner is exactly what it is. It's one line. Like, will that be all, sir? Those are difficult to impress. But now, you can put a 1, 2, maybe even 3-minute scene on tape and send it off to the decision makers in your industry, okay? So don't take it lightly. Train, practice, all right? Tip number 2, it could go hand in hand with tip number 1. Write. Sounds silly. I don't write, I act. Somebody else writes. Okay, that's fine. But have you ever sat down and tried to write your own script? Have you ever sat down and tried to write your own monologue? It's great for 2 reasons. One, it puts you in the writer's shoes, where you start to understand the thought process that goes on behind every single word. So when you do get a script, it's a lot easier to analyze because you understand the writing process just a little bit more if you become a writer yourself. Understanding the writer's process just means that you're going to be better at script analysis, which means your scenes are going to be better, which means your auditions are going to be better, which means you're going to book more, and that is what we all want to do. Also, it's a little bit more original when you write your own scene and you send that off. What if you write your own monologue that is so epic? Guess what? You can even cheat a little bit and gear it towards exactly what your strong points are. I mean, yeah, it's good to stretch yourself when you train and practice. Always try to get outside of your comfort zone, but at the same time, sharpen the tools that you already have as well. If you are really good at something, become the best you can possibly be at that very thing while improving everything else. So training, writing, I feel like those 2 kind of go together, but they're 2 separate points for this video's purposes, okay? Hey, if you're getting value from this video so far, please consider hitting that like button. It helps me out. Thank you so much. Thank you. Tip number 3. This is one that most people actually don't do. Research. And when I say research, I am talking about who directs what production team is producing what shows, what are the names of these people, what type of shows have they created before, what do they have in the pipeline for the future, who is connected to what show, what casting agency is casting a particular project, where is a particular production filming, who is connected to what production. Get to know the network of the industry. It's going to help you a lot because 2 things are going to happen. You're going to get to know people's names. You're not going to be clueless who these people are. That is, when you get your C-mail from Actors Access, when you get an audition and it says XYZ person is the director, this is the producer, this is the casting director. When you research, these names start to become familiar. When you see a particular director and you know that they have worked on XYZ productions, and these productions are filmed in a certain style, the comedy, the pacing is a certain style, the type of drama, the type of shots that they do. Guess what that is going to do? All those things are going to help you in your audition because you can just tweak your audition just a little bit, tweak some decisions a little bit to fit not just the character and the script analysis that you did, but also the team behind the production because you did your research. You can do all the script analysis that you want, and it's great. I'm not saying anything against it. It is probably one of the most important things you can possibly do, but you can add just a little bit more to your audition if you know exactly who this audition is going to be viewed by. Yes, seriously, that's a good tip. Tip number 4 is one that some of us love, some of us hate. Social media, social networking. It's a necessary evil. It is, okay? Everybody's on social media. Can you make it in acting without being on it? Sure, sure. You can do anything you want to do. But if you are stuck in your house and you can't go to in-person networking events, you can't go to acting classes, you can't do all the practical things that you would like to do, why not focus on your social network, your social media presence? Personally, that's something I need to work on. I don't have a huge Instagram. I don't have millions of followers. I wish I did. You know, because it could probably help. It's not the be-all and the end-all, but it could probably help. Who knows? I don't know. But just start working on it. You have no idea who you might run into. Some of my best friends I actually met through social media. And now I know them in person, and we've done business together. We've done scenes together. We've done productions together. It's a powerful tool if you use it right. Don't be weird. Don't be a creeper. Don't be just weird about it, and don't be needy, okay? If you're going to use social media, try to make yourself available to help other people, and I guarantee you people are going to love you for it. People are going to see you as somebody who is a team player, somebody that they would want to work with, and somebody that they want to cast in their production when they're big and famous and have lots of money and big budgets. Go boom, boom, $200 million production. Yes. Well, that's the goal. That's my goal. Yeah. And then tip number 5, guys, is study film, study television shows. Watch a variety of shows, watch a variety of movies. Look at the differences between wide shots and how the actors are versus when they get close up. You'll actually notice little things like they blink a lot less when the camera is really close to them because it's more powerful. Try to pick up on those little things and study films, study shows, study the storylines, study how actors evolve. One day you're gonna book a lead role and you're gonna film 10 seasons and you're gonna have to know how to implement character arcs, maybe even multiple character arcs. It's like a writer, they read books. Writers read. Actors should watch TV. That's not the same as sitting on the couch and being lazy, guys. If you're sitting there with the intent of learning something from it, you sit there with your pen and paper, you take notes, and force yourself not to watch just the things that you love to watch. Put on a romantic comedy, put on a horror movie, put on a drama, put on a thriller, put on a variety of genres because you don't control what auditions come through. Study each one, and who knows, maybe one day you'll be watching yourself on the screen, right? That's the goal, isn't it? Yeah, that's the goal, and it's fun. It's super fun to see yourself on screen. Some people hate it. They don't like to see themselves on screen, but this sounds silly, but I actually love watching myself on film, and it's not narcissism. It is for me to analyze. It's no different from a football player watching his plays or watching footage from his game. Because he's watching it, his coach plays that footage for him so he can learn from the mistakes and he could keep doing what he was doing right and make it even better. And if he made some mistakes, then learn from those mistakes and not repeat those. Does that make sense? I think that's a decent analogy. Yeah. If an actor watches their footage back, it's not because they're a narcissist. It's so silly, okay? Stop being silly. It is because they are educating themselves on what to do, what to get better at, what not to do, and what to completely avoid. And that is really it. I am gonna do a bonus tip because this is important. You know, we are, for the most part, stuck in the house. It's hard. It's hard being stuck in the house, especially as a creative, especially as somebody who likes being on set, likes being out, likes to perform, we're creatives, we want to go out, we want to do things. And now you can't, but you can. See the 5 tips I just said above. But one thing I do encourage you to do, and this is, I guess you can consider this like a bonus tip, start to explore yourself. Explore who you are, like deep inside. Some of us, we are very afraid to open up to other people. But we're just as afraid of opening up to ourselves and really asking ourselves, who am I? Like, who am I really? And then start exploring yourself. Start exploring what do you like? What triggers you? What little nuances do you have? What little tics do you have? Like when I talk, I do this sometimes. You know, it's like it just goes crazy. Start to get to know yourself. It's freeing and it's powerful. It's a very powerful tool. An actor that is not afraid to dive really deep into his own deep, dark soul. Your soul doesn't have to be dark, but you know what I'm saying. An actor that is not afraid to dig deep within himself or herself, they're not afraid to go places that other actors might not go. And when they do those things, it's so authentic and it's so real because it's as if they're really, really experiencing whatever is written on that script because you're willing to dig deeper. Always go a layer deeper. I might make a video on that goes into a lot more detail about that concept, about knowing your type, being very open to how people see you. You might see yourself as this goofy whatever, but when you go to a party or you're at a dinner party, for example, you sit there like this. And you're just intimidating to people, man. Like you are not the goofy one that you feel like inside. That kid is deep inside. That person is inside of you. And you need to go grab them because the outside world sees very limited information about who you are. And as an actor, we cannot be afraid to show everything. Question: what have you been doing during this quarantine, pandemic, COVID-19, corona thing that we are all going through? What have you been doing to keep sane? What have you been doing to keep busy? What tips do you have to keep your acting muscle fine-tuned? I would love to hear all of those things, and I'm sure other people that reads the comments hopefully would love to hear some additional tips as well, because I don't claim to know everything. I'm just trying to share a little bit of information with you guys. Some of this stuff has helped me. Maybe it'll help you. And then guess what? Maybe one day we will all end up on set together and we'll all win Oscars and we'll all win all the awards and we'll all be on the red carpet and it's gonna be epic. But it shouldn't be the only reason why you're doing it. If fame is the only reason why you're doing this, you're probably not gonna get through a period like this. Something a lot deeper. Remember that depth inside of you? Something a lot deeper inside of you has to drive you throughout this industry, because it is a crazy, nuts, it is a weird roller coaster to be on, all right? You'll see. If you're new, you'll see. If you're a veteran, I don't need to say anymore because you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, guys, well, thank you so much for making it this far and staying all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it. Like I said before, please consider liking this video. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to my channel. When you do subscribe, please consider hitting that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I upload a video. And then you can learn something, and then you can comment, and then I can learn from you, and we can connect even more. How's that? Okay, sound good? Perfect. You guys are awesome. Stay patient, stay driven, keep your dream alive, and I will see you on set at some point. All right? Peace out.